Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Wrestling Podcast, because if I have a wrestling podcast, sometimes I have to jump on a bandwagon. This coming Saturday will be AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view 2020, and this is the prediction video. I don't like doing prediction videos, I'm extremely bad at them, but since virtually nobody watches my stuff, I figure maybe if I jump on the bandwagon, I can maybe scrounge up a couple of views. Who knows? If you're watching this, please like, share, subscribe, enable notifications. Leave me a comment down in the comment section wherever they've got it now. And believe me, I will respond because I'm kind of hopeless and starved for attention right now. Going to be taking a look at the Wikipedia article. We currently have 9 matches on the card as of this recording. Match number 1, this is almost certainly going to be the main event of the show. It's Cody with Arn Anderson and Brandy Rhodes versus Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts in a tournament final for the inaugural AEW TNT Championship, to be presented by Mike Tyson. What the hell is up with the Mike Tyson thing? Now, this is a match I could actually see going either way. Cody, because he's pretty much the centerpiece babyface of the promotion, eventually needs to win a big match. He needs to win a title match. He's in a storyline where he's not allowed to compete for the AEW World's title, so this is the secondary title created for him. On the other side of things, I still can't say it without laughing. The Murder Hawk monster, Lance Archer, is a valuable act. He's a good, could be a top main event level monster heel, and they don't have any monster heels in the men's division of AEW. It's pretty much all the cocky, smarmy numbers guy heel of the Inner Circle, or the big, powerful numbers guy heel of the Dark Order. We'll get to both of them later. So a sort of a solo, unstoppable killing machine like Lance Archer, I think would be a good idea as a champion, especially since you've got a whole lot of mid-card baby faces that this guy can just run through and establish himself. So I am predicting Lance Archer to win this match and the inaugural AEW Television Championship, TNT Championship, whatever. Because I just think there's more stories to be told with him as champion, and this is going to be one more notch in the Cody just can't win the big one story that will push him to maybe eventually wager his career in a match for the AEW Championship to get around the can't challenge for it rule. I don't know. Match number 2, and I'm pretty sure these were match announcement orders. We've got MJF with Wardlow versus Jungle Boy. And yeah, the MJF. I got to go with MJF on this one. He's another one of your top heels. I'm not sure if they announced formally that the winner of this match will face the winner of the world's title match, but I don't think so, because Jungle Boy really isn't in that situation. He's not really that high on the list, singles-wise. So yeah, this is definitely MJF. I think setting him up for MJF versus a little bit later. Speaking of which, match number 3 announced, and actually this is probably going to be the main event rather than the Cody match. Singles match for the AEW World's Championship. Champion Jon Moxley defending against Mr. Brody Lee, who currently has possession of the championship belt. I love a good stolen belt story. This has not been one of them. Are we keeping Jon Moxley as champion? I think, especially if we're putting Lance Archer as the TNT champion, you need to have, if you're going to have one heel champion, you need to have the other one be babyface. So I'm voting on Jon Moxley for this one. Overcoming the odds, showing the fighting spirit, fighting off the Dark Order. He's already dispatched 10, the Elite Knight, I think they're calling him. So I can see him overcoming Mr. Brody Lee. But hopefully Lee will look strong in defeat. Match number 4, Darby Allin versus Colt Boom Boom Cabana versus Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy versus Rey Fenix versus all 3 members of SCU versus Luchasaurus versus to be determined in a casino ladder match for a future AEW World Championship match and apparently a poker chip. That's going to have to be a really big poker chip to show up on camera. Okay, rules of this match apparently are 2 randomly chosen wrestlers, meaning TBD, to be determined, will be coming out last. 2 randomly chosen wrestlers start in the ring, and every so often another wrestler enters, and the first person to climb a ladder and grab a chip, a poker chip, that's weird. The first person to grab the poker chip wins the match. The unusual rule, the I think unique rule, is that you don't have to wait for all 9 wrestlers to enter the bout in order to grab the prize. You can grab the chip at any time. Like with any first-time ever gimmick match, the devil's going to be in the details and in the execution. I think this could be good. I don't like that they're still doing the casino thing. At least they've gotten rid of the draw card battle royal, which makes me happy on the inside. I think this could work. Maybe the chip will be in some kind of a plastic case, a clear plastic case that they have to retrieve, because it's got to be something bigger than something that I can palm for a coin trick. As for my actual prediction, I'm going to predict to be determined, and I am predicting that it is Drew Gulak. I am predicting he's got friends. He's got good friends in AEW. He's available. It would be a big get. I am picturing Drew Gulak setting himself up for a match with Moxley for the title. Up next, in a no disqualification and no count-out match for the AEW Women's World's Championship, Nyla Rose, the Native Beast, defends against Hikaru Shida. And Hikaru Shida has been the number 1 contender in the women's division, the Joshi division, for, by this point, about 13 weeks, 12 and a half weeks by the time of the pay-per-view. And I don't care. I'm going for my girl, Nyla Rose. I think the no disqualification, no count-out stipulation is going to favor the champion. And in this case, I think they might actually want to use this to do some interference and either spin off Hikaru Shida into something else or have set up the next challenger for Nyla Rose. I'm not ready for them to take the title off of Nyla yet. I love her. I think she's fantastic. We're going to go with Nyla Rose in that prediction. Up next in singles action, we've got Britt Baker, who is a dentist. Sorry, Dr. Britt Baker, who is a dentist, versus Chris Statlander from the Andromeda Galaxy. And, who are we putting up against Nyla Rose? This one I think actually was stated to be a number 1 contenders match. I think, especially if I'm keeping the belt on Nyla, I don't like the idea of doing Baker Rose, because that's unless you're going to turn Nyla face, which, given her size compared to the rest of the women's roster, I'm not sure you can do at this point. I'm actually going to go with Chris Statlander with the upset victory over Dr. Britt Baker, who is a dentist. Next, again, announced for the main show, and this was announced just this past episode of Dynamite. It's going to be Dustin Rhodes versus Shawn Spears in a singles match, and I expect Shawn Spears to win because I think he needs the win more than Dustin Rhodes, and hopefully Shawn Spears will be smart enough to leave his wife at home. No, I'm not over that yet. In the hardest to predict match of the evening, Matt Hardy and the Elite of Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, Zayangu Bakusu, against the Inner Circle of Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana and Ortiz in a Stadium Stampede match. And what the hell is that going to be? Okay, because they actually have access to a football stadium, they're going to put a second ring at the 50-yard line, and falls and submissions count anywhere in the stadium, so why are we bothering with a wrestling ring? That seems unnecessary. No idea what the hell a Stadium Stampede match is. They haven't mentioned blood and guts in about a month and a half, so I'm thinking this is what they're doing instead of blood and guts. Which, okay. Is this the Elite breakup angle? Does Matt Hardy, who's not technically allied with the Elite fully, this was sort of just an entrance thing, or part of his coming into the company, an excuse for introducing the Matt Hardy character, that the Bucks of Youth requested Damascus's assistance against their common foe of the Inasakeru. Okay. Jericho and company might need a win here. They've got the seeds of dissent between Paige and the rest of the Elite. The Inner Circle has taken the advantage over the last couple of beatdown angles. There's too many combustible elements in here. I'm just going to have to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say victory for Inner Circle. I'm going with the Inner Circle to win the Stadium Stampede match. I'd say about a 50 to 60% chance that this is when they pull the trigger on the Adam Page thing. And in a match that is announced as being on the pre-show, which means I'm probably not watching it, Private Party versus Best Friends in a tag team match to determine the number one contender for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. And especially if we're going with that. If we've got Drew Gulak debuting, I don't want to pull the trigger on the Revival / the Revolt / the Cease and Desist letter, especially on a pre-show. So let's give this to Private Party. I think they've got more upside at the moment because the Best Friends, I think there are other stories you can tell with them. Private Party, AEW seems to really want to get behind and push to the moon. So, yeah, especially if we're going to be doing Adam Page finally turning on Kenny Omega, yeah, I think Private Party could be the ones to move the belts onto, actually. Okay, so those are my predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. Going down at one more time, Lance Archer to win the TNT Championship, MJF over Jungle Boy, Jon Moxley to retain against Brody Lee, Drew Gulak to be the mystery entrant and winner of the Casino ladder match, Nyla Rose to defend, Chris Statlander to upset Britt Baker, who is a dentist, Private Party to win the pre-show match, the Inner Circle to win the Stadium Stampede match, and Shawn Spears over Dustin Rhodes. Tune in this Saturday to AEW Double or Nothing, and then probably within 24 hours, my video to see just how wrong I was about almost all of this. Thanks for watching, if indeed you still are. Again, please like, share, subscribe, click the bell, enable notifications, leave a comment, all that happy fun YouTube stuff. Thanks for watching till the end of this. I'm Ryu Sensei. This has been the Last Wrestling Podcast, and until Double or Nothing, catchphrase sign off.